What type of material should be included in English language teaching? Novelty, unusual topics, illustrations, and activities. Variety, breaking up the monotony of a unique routine with an unexpected activity, using many different text types taken from many different types of sources, using a number of different instructors' voice. Honesty, attractive presentation, attractive colors, lots of white space, use of paragraphs, outline content, a topic of interest to the target learners, topics which offer the possibility of learning something new, in getting stories, universal themes, local reference, teachable challenge, that which challenge the learners to think. Explain the principle of second language acquisition relevant to the development of material for language teaching. Acquiring a second language is a process that could be done consciously or unconsciously. Keeping in mind that it's necessary to prepare material for students who catch their attention, becoming the learning process easy and fun. Learning a language is not easy. Learning something work and sometimes could be uncomfortable for students and awkward. The teacher's role is to make feel comfortable students, not only with easy topics, they just create a new challenge in their learning process. For example, talking about interesting deeper topic who makes students think about it and create reflections, it will help in their speech and vocabulary, it will help to get good communication and expression. Certain activities that could be done in formal discourses features the activity rather than its passive voice, concreteness, inclusiveness. For teaching a second language, it is necessary to understand what it implies, like being off for native language, stop to compare both language and live like a native speaker. To this new language that you are learning is that important. The teacher material developed in order to make students have the experience. Language is necessary but not sufficient for acquisition of the language. It is necessary in the learning experience of how the language is typically used, but is not sufficient because they also need to notice how it is used and to use it to communicate purpose themselves. Material should be designed for real life, with real situation and focusing in student interest. It makes it easy the process to learn and useful for each student. That's why it's important as a teacher know student needs and interests and develop material to keep in code this. Interaction can be a shy job. Information or opinion gap. Activities which require learning to communicate with each other and or the teacher in order to close the gap. Post-listening and post-reading. Activities which require the learners to use information from the child to communicate reports. Television programs to watch, discussing who to vote for writing reviews, creating writings and creating speaking activities such as writing a story or improvising a drama. Formal instruction given in the target language either on the language itself or on another subject. We need to recognize the teaching intent as a formal instruction also says as interaction. Formal instruction does more than teach a specific item. It also exposes learning to features which are not focused in that lesson. So, teaching a new language is implied to understand the background of learning a second language, understand